and sit down, Cliff. Sir Cliff. Can I call you Cliff? Just Cliff?
Oh, anything, just bow.
Sir Cliff Richard, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for coming on.
My pleasure. Thanks.
You look fantastic.
We have a great makeup department here.
But no, you do. You look... I mean, look, because not just, you know, you look good for your age and stuff, but you, look at how trim you are.
Well, leather does that.
Yeah, I mean,
holds everything in.
You know, I'm really genuinely so impressed. Really, because like, I'm constantly struggling with my weight. As you can see, Andy's given up the battle. As so many middle-aged gentlemen do. But you know, you really do. I guess you work at it pretty hard.
You have to work at it, yeah, you do. I mean, if you are in the public eye, I think one has to be concerned about overweight, and you'll find that out. And
you want to listen.
And you have to. And it is tough. I mean, people often say to me, "I can't believe you diet." Yeah. I don't look fat because I do diet.
Yeah, you look after... Now, I've read about this. I don't know if this is true. I've read you basically have one big meal a day. That's it. You don't overdo that.
I still do that, actually. It's a little difficult when you go on holiday and people are having a really nice lunch and you think, oh, I'll have that with a glass of wine, and suddenly it's 2 meals a day. And you get back home and you're 7 pounds heavier and you just have to start again. But it's not so difficult.
But I read that one of the meals you love, and this is, I found kind of like charming and strange, is you love chicken curry, but you love instant mashed potato.
I do. When I'm working, if, for instance, I was doing a show in the West End, I would make sure that I'd have at least 2 nights of comfort food. I quite like opening a tin of anything, whatever it is, and then mixing up the smash, but I use milk instead of water, and I add butter.
But you know, I'm guessing you could afford real potatoes. I mean, you've done quite well for yourself.
I've done badly, but it just keeps me in my place. It's sort of self-discipline.
Do you make the smash yourself?
Yeah, of course I do.
Wow.
No one's up when I get home at midnight or something like that.
But isn't it better sometimes the sort of food you get at home, that's the best food in the world?
I think so, yeah.
Heinz tomato soup.
It has to be Heinz. And just plain tomato soup is enough. You can get it now with orange flavours and basil,
you
basil.
Don't want that? That's for fools.
Straight tomato soup.
If I ever see you drinking tomato soup with orange, I'm going to strike you.
OK.
And it would be for your own good, Sir Cliff.
I would deserve it. I really would.
What about spaghetti hoops on toast is just about the best thing.
No, on toast, it has to be beans with an egg on top.
Oh, man, now you're talking.
An egg on top.
No, not an egg on top.
Oh, yeah.
Don't mix up the yolk with the tomato sauce. What are you, crazy? You're high on something. You've said this recently. We're talking about how great you look. You said you've had a little bit of work done on the plastic surgery kind of side of things. Is that correct?
No.
You haven't?
I had Botox.
Well, that's kind of close enough.
Well, it's an injection, but my eyebrows dropped. They dropped. I thought, I'm not going to do that again.
And what, this was after the injection or before when you saw the needle coming? Kind of like fear.
No, the eyebrows lifted when I saw the price.
Because, you know, I was thinking of maybe, you know, as I get older, I was thinking of possibly getting a bit of work done.
Well, you should have had it done a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Well, I'm not inviting you back for some smash later on. You can get your own instant potato mix. Is that how you unwind then, Cliff? I mean, if you say, for example, you got a new single out. If that single, say that single was to go to #1, how would you cut loose and celebrate? Because you're a man of very few public vices. I don't really know what you do to unwind. I know you love your tennis. I suspect you don't drink a lot. I'm sure you're not, you know, a drug abuser. If you were, you wouldn't be telling me here. But what do you do, you know, what for you is a great night, an unwinding night?
I think I would definitely crack a bottle of champagne. Yeah. If the record is the #1. It's always been tough to get the #1. It's just even harder now. Yeah. The competition's great, and it's just a difficult job to do, really.
And do you worry about the audience now, you know, partly because you've been around for a while, partly because tastes in music change all the time? And I know, in a way, it seems like there's a trend back towards the kind of music you do. I mean, if you look at the hits that, say, Will from Pop Idol and Gareth are having at the moment, that's the kind of music very much that you make.
Pop music hasn't really changed very much at all. We try to compartmentalise it and call it garage music or something crazy, but it's still pop rock and roll.
Garage music?
Garage.
You've been hanging out with Dame Maggie Smith, haven't you?
Well, garage.
Garage, yeah, garage.
Well, garage actually is probably a better way of describing it.
Do you like the garage, the jungle, the raggle, the new metal?
No.
I bet you like a bit of Cradle of Filth occasionally. No. Slipknot, Mudvayne.
I wish I knew what you were talking about.
Hey, here's some of Cliff's albums, OK? 69 albums. That's unbelievable. I bet you didn't even buy all of them, I imagine.
I never bought any of them.
But that's a lot of albums. There's some great ones. The 70s, when you start getting hip, this is the 70s album style. There's one called Tracks and Grooves. I like that.
No one had ever thought of it.
Tracks and Grooves is great. But then what about this one in
But you know what that means, don't you? You do know what it means.
I know, it's grooves, like grooves in the thing.
Record. Oh, good. You remember records then?
I love a vinyl.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Don't patronise me, though. Come on, Cliff.
No, I really want to get with it because you look so modern.
Cliff, don't start, mate. I'll come for you, I tell you. I'd just take it easy and enjoy the evening if I were you. I'm being nice. All right. Cliff, I can see I'm upsetting you now. You're getting cross with me.
No, not at all.
Cliff,
no, I
come
feel
on.
very safe from my position in life.
Oh, you see? Yeah, you see?
I feel really nice about it.
Oh, right, you've
really
got
like
50
it.
million, but I've got inner beauty.
Yeah, I like inner beauty, John.
You know, I saw you on Children in Need this year.
Oh, yeah.
And it was. See, don't be defensive. I'm being nice. But you know what was really nice? You know what I really liked about it? I like the fact that you had your guitar out, and we asked you to bring your guitar out tonight. And I
know. I
thank you for
wondered
that.
why.
Well, because when you did Children in Need, you know what? I'd forgotten that your roots were, you know, you were the English rock and roller.
Yeah.
You used to stand up there. You had the shadows behind you, but you stood up there and you used to rock out. You used to do the guitar thing, and you did. I can't remember which track it was you did. Now you did one of your early ones.
I did Move It.
Move It, which was fantastic. And I wondered, would you do a bit of Move It or one of the early ones for just a little bit out here now?
Well,
Living Doll, maybe?
Living
Yeah,
Doll?
well, which one do you like to do from that period?
Well, I don't mind. I mean, they're all very easy to play on guitars. Elvis knows sort of early rock and roll was really good for guitars. There was no electronics involved, and it was fairly simple. I mean, got myself a crying, talking, sleeping, walking, living doll. Got to do my best to please her just 'cause she's a living doll. Got a roving eye, and that is why she satisfies my soul. Got the one and only walking, talking, living doll.
Fantastic. No, but it's great you can do that. You know, you were seen at one time, you were seen as the English Elvis, weren't you, really? I mean, because it was the same period. Elvis was big in the States, you were kind of the English equivalent. And I know your careers kind of went on similar trajectories. You had a huge beginning, and then you both went into movies. Then you had a period where maybe you weren't quite as popular, then you came back. You know, there's similarities between the two. But, of course, he kind of lost his way, quite dramatically, quite tragically. You never did. I remember exactly where I was the night I heard Elvis died. I was in the Vortex Punk Club in Wardour Street, waiting for Johnny Thunder's Heartbreakers to come on stage. Now, you don't have to try and top that. But do you remember where you were? Did it have as much impact on you as it did on most other people?
Well, the strange thing was, it was announced on... I'd just come back from holiday, and I was watching the news to catch up what's happening in Britain, and the guy at the news desk, I can't remember who it was, said that Elvis had died. And then the phone rang, which is very rare. You don't often see that happen at the news desk. He picked it up and listened for a while, and he was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really sorry. Elvis is really sick. He's not dead. Elvis, all of us wish you well." So I went to bed thinking, well, that's another one of these terrible, horrible Hollywood jokes.
Like a hoax, yeah.
And then I got a call at 4 a.m. in the morning saying that Elvis was dead, and I'd kind of been prepared for it. But it was always going to be a shock, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When the prototype for everything you stand for and like and love and want to do dies, it's not a great feeling.
Cliff, I don't know if you've watched this show. I don't know if you've listened to the radio show I do, but many people believe that
I've
I'm
been on your
unfairly...
radio show, remember?
Of course you have. You're on the radio show.
How soon they
doesn't mean you necessarily listen to it, though, Cliff. Many people think I'm perhaps obsessed with sex. And indeed, it's one of the great pleasures of my life. Well, those people who think I spend too much time dwelling on it include my wife. But you're not a person... You don't indulge, do you? Is that right? You're celibate? You don't indulge in sexual intercourse? This is not an offer, by the way. I'm just...
I was getting a little worried.
Yeah, but you don't...
I never have talked too much about my personal private life, and the word celibacy, I'd never used it about myself.
Oh, right.
It was something that the press talked about, and usually when people don't understand you, they make things up. So they made things up, and I still don't intend to talk about it, Jonathan. I don't even ask my best friends, really, about... I mean, I know where you're coming from, and I understand
I just want to know, when was the last time you got down and dirty? Come on, Cliff. Come on, when was the last time? Come on! When was the last time you were in the saddle? Come on, Cliff!
No. It's much worse to think it.
Well, I'm not thinking about it in that way. I'm morbidly curious in other... Because I know he did it about 2 years ago.
I wasn't talking about you thinking it.
All right, well, so you don't want to be drawn on that in any way?
No, well, I can't see any point, really, because it's absolutely up my business and nobody else's.
Yeah, but I'm curious.
I know you are. Isn't it lovely?
Oh, come on, just tell me.
Love
I'll tell you what, tell me later and I won't tell anyone.
All right, then.
Cliff, you know, it's been nice having you on the show. Thank you for coming on.
It's my pleasure.
You know, and really, I wish you well with the single. I don't understand the pop market. I don't know what sells and what doesn't anymore. It's not always what I want to listen to that seems to be at the top of the charts, but I hope it sells well for you.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, there's no telling anymore anyway.
You can't tell. Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Cliff Richard.
Thank you, George.